How can I, M40, convince my wife, F39, I don't care what she did? 6 months ago my wife told me she baby trapped me. Her words, not mine. She told me that when we first got together at 20 she had a lot of anxiety about me leaving, so she stopped taking her birth control and got pregnant. When she told me I felt nothing. My wife was on the verge of tears, apologized profusely and left for the week to let me process. But that week nothing changed. I didn't feel anger, sadness, or violated, I felt absolutely nothing. She came back and expected me to want a divorce, but I told her I love her and nothing can change that. But since she told me, she's been on edge, waiting for the other shoe to drop. I've tried to convince her that I don't care, that I love her, and understand why she baby trapped me. She went through a lot of trauma as a child that puts her actions into perspective. I love all our kids, and our oldest daughter is the best thing to ever happen to us. She's a wonderful mom and the kids adore her. I'm incapable of feeling anger when it comes to her. My wife is my everything and I wish she could see that. How can I convince her that I don't care that she baby trapped me? She just feels so guilty and feels like a bad person and is projecting. You're a good man. You need to bluntly tell her, kindly, something like, honey, I love you so much. I understand you feel terrible about this and are expecting me to leave you for this situation. I want to be with you and I don't want to leave you. Validating her feelings so she knows that you hear her, I think, is important. Then just give her time to process these emotions because this has been heavy for her for a long time. Also ask her if she wants to be with you still. Just tell her that was best thing that ever happened to you. Show her this post. Write her a letter. Tell her that you are glad you are in your life where you are now. Tell her you couldn't imagine being anywhere else. Tell her sure the first child was unexpected, but aren't we glad we had them? Tell her if you had 3 lives you would choose her in each. Let her know that her intentions 20 years ago might not have been ideal. But how glad you are where you two are now in your lives. Thank her for being the best mom and wife. Anxiety builds on people, it festers. She is looking for punishment, not absolution. Reaffirm you only have life for her. Offer to renew your wedding vows, go on another honeymoon, etc. Tell her no more secrets, let's renew our wedding vows and go the next 20 ahead. So, since you told her and she isn't able to believe you, probably nothing you say is going to be able to convince her. Her guilt is louder than any words you can speak. She needs to figure out how to forgive herself. Therapy? Couples counseling? She needs therapy. This is probably less about you forgiving her than about her forgiving herself. She needs help. Found out my 36 male girlfriend, 33 female, stayed with her ex after he was convicted of assault against a minor. My girlfriend and I have been together for about 5 months. At the beginning, she was upfront about her divorce and said things ended because he cheated. Yesterday, I googled her name and found out that her ex was convicted of sex crimes against a minor. Based on the timelines and what she told me, it means she would have stayed with him for about 2-3 years after the conviction. I am having a really hard time accepting the fact she stayed with him. I am also struggling with the fact that this was never disclosed to me, or that she was upfront about it. Rather, she just said he cheated and that was it. What would you do in this situation? Edit. Thanks for everyone's responses. She confirmed that it was not an abusive relationship, not was he coercive or violent. The divorce took about a year to finalize. Bring it up with her. Bring it up to her. But also understand that divorces can take years to be finalized. Mine took 2 years after I had filed. And the relationship was over years before I even filed. We were just cohabitating parents. Ask her about it. Understand the situation and her reasoning from her perspective. Then decide if it is a deal breaker or not. Who you surround yourself with is a reflection of you. At best, she has zero self-respect. At worst, she supports pedophilia. Have you talked to her first? I don't want to be rude, but how the hell would you trust our opinion online without even checking with her to see that happened? I think you should talk to her about it. Who knows, maybe she has strong beliefs about marriage, or maybe she was fooled by him, or who knows what. You can only find out by asking her. My 35 male girlfriend, 40 female, is going on a private trip with her boss. My girlfriend of 1 year is going on a private trip with her boss. It's not work related, it's supposed to be her boss and another female coworker. I want to be more secure, but it makes me nervous thinking about it. She said the trip is funded by her boss to get away from the stressful office life. It's supposed to be 3 days and they going to a lot of bars together and the beach. She'd text and call her boss every day even when it's not work related. She told me her boss have close friendship with her. I asked her can I come with her on the trip. Her response was no, it just supposed to be the 3 of us. How can I be more secure and supportive towards her? Hello placeholder boyfriend throwing kisses. Sounds like a 3-day threesome event to me. Yeah, no companies is endorsing this one. This would be wholly inappropriate. She's feeding you some made-up garbage. It's a fuck fest. I would not be supportive of all is not a work trip. It's a relationship trip and you're a cuckold. I wouldn't try being more secure about this. I would be running as fast as I can from this situation. She knows exactly what she is doing and you are letting it happen. Location flag, location flag, location flag alert. Lol, seriously? Your girlfriend and her boss together for a mini vacation, bars, beach, hotel, for 3 days? Is it a new trend? Girlfriend going to bar with their boss and having relationship, text, call every day for not work related. Someone just months ago telling the same story. Is it trolling? Fake? I, 38F, have not congratulated my SIL's pregnancy as I was never told by my husband, 36M. 38F, I was never told about my SIL's pregnancy by my husband, 36M, or his family. I, 38F, have been dealing with infertility since losing both my fallopian tubes after 2 consecutive ectopic pregnancies 2 years ago. We did 1 round of IVF and I did my first and only fed transfer last fall and it did not stick. The reason of this being that my husband is not fully committed to being a father and has been toxic and confusing this whole time. Not only am I dealing with infertility, I'm also always on the brink of getting a divorce. Meanwhile, my SIL, who I'm not really close to, already had her first baby a few months after my last ectopic pregnancy. And apparently she's been 7 months pregnant with her second baby girl already. I last saw my in-laws in January of this year where I thought I spied a little baby bump on my SIL. No one mentioned anything, but afterwards I asked my husband if she was pregnant. He said he hasn't heard anything. 2 months ago I saw on social media that my sister-in-law announced her pregnancy. I was gut-punched. I asked my husband and he said he didn't want to tell me as I would freak out, and when I started crying that we have been married for 10 years and I don't have 1 baby while she has baby 2 on the way, he got angry and said he wants a divorce and moved out to live with his parents for 2 weeks. Of course, in that state the last thing on my mind was to send this woman a congrats text. I'm still married and it occurred to me I've never acknowledged her pregnancy and I feel so embarrassed and humiliated. WTF do I do? Tonight my husband is playing a gig for his band and I'm thinking about going. But I hear she will be there. I'm so embarrassed to face her. Do I just not go? If I don't go, when would I ever have a chance to congratulate her in person? The real question is, why are you trying to have a baby with a man who clearly doesn't want one? You said your marriage is very unstable, maybe don't bring a kid into this mess. Woman shrugging, do you really want to stay with a man who treats you like that? Do people keep tally of who has and hasn't congratulated them on a thing? It seems like a minor problem compared to your husband, but if you feel worried about not having acknowledged her, send a small gift with a note and you're in the clear. This is one hell of a cry for help. Skip the band and start looking up therapists, because you need to figure out why you're still with this man. There's bigger issues here, but to soothe the monster in your head. You aren't a bad person for sending a congratulations text. If she is clued into your fertility issues, I'm sure she understands. Not to mention, you two aren't close. Your main concern should be your issues with your husband. How is he being toxic? Did your issues with your husband start when you two went down the path to have children? How has he handled the loss? Does he truly want children, or does he simply need a break from trying? I don't think it's wrong. He shielded you from a potential meltdown. He definitely should have discussed it with you at some point, but if you're truly spiraling from other pregnancy announcements, it can be a difficult topic to approach. Have either of you seek counseling? I really think you are worrying about the wrong thing here. Your husband treats you like shit. And you're letting him. It's time to have some self-respect. Seriously.